And welcome back to the 2022 Southern Conference Football Kickoff. Scott Wachenheim getting ready for year number 7, guide in the VMI Keydets. But Coach, the way I look at things with your program, when you and I did this interview in 2019, you said to me, winning time is now. And in 2019 in the fall, you started to see it. You started to break out. The air raid started to work. You obviously had a great quarterback. Alex Ramsey had a Player of the Year caliber season, and you got some big wins. 2020, you play in the spring, you win the school's first conference title in years. 21, another competitive season, winning back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 61 and 62 is some of the things you've accomplished at VMI. So here you are. A lot of folks have you picked in the middle of the pack. I see a team, though, that returns key pieces on both sides. I know you've got to be optimistic going in.
Very optimistic. I think we have a team that can compete for the Southern Conference Championship, but I think every team in the conference can compete in the Southern Conference for the championship. Top to bottom, the league is as strong as any in the nation. It's a great place to play. All the venues are fun to play at. I think VMI is a great place for teams to come visit and play. And I'm just looking forward to a very competitive season where we get a chance to be the best that we can be.
And I think it's important, and again, we talk about having a brand, and you've told me the story before, but you sat down with the offensive staff several years ago and said, we got to be able to do something. You went with the air raid, and you've been able to get the guys to plug in. But I look at both sides of the ball. I see VMI guys because they just seem to fit exactly all the things you want your program to be about.
Well, I think that fits VMI in recruiting. When a young man visits our post, which is a campus for VMI, it's very unique, and they either within 48 hours know they want to come to VMI or they know this is not the right place for me. So I think the school attracts people that VMI fits. They want to play championship level football and they want to be champions for life, and VMI gives them that opportunity after they graduate.
From the time I saw your quarterback, Seth Morgan, come on when Reese Udinsky got hurt a couple of seasons ago, and of course Udinsky was the gold standard of quarterbacks during your time there. But Seth Morgan impressed me with the ability to throw, and last year 2,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. But also, when he needs to, he can get out of the pocket. I know you're excited about him back at that position.
Yeah, Seth is an excellent quarterback. I think he has really improved under Pat Ashford's tutelage this spring ball. He's gone through his progressions at a very, very high level. He's taken the next step in quarterback maturity. I think he's going to have a fantastic year.
And then around him, again, some exciting players. Corey Bridey is again, one of those players that has made a lot of plays. I don't know if the conference recognizes the talent you have back there as a running back.
Corey's an outstanding player. Season got cut short by a foot injury, and Rashad Raymond, Hunter Rice, and then we got Grant Swinehart coming back. So we're as deep as we've ever been at running back, and Corey can do it all, return kicks. He was 5th in the nations in kickoff returning just a couple seasons ago. So excited to have him back healthy and ready to run.
Wide receiver, and you had a player, Jacob Harris, who became such a weapon as a big target. He's moved on. Another guy, Michael Jackson's moved on. But you still got some talent there, and you see a guy, Leroy Thomas, 2nd in the SoCon in receptions per game. He returns. Max Brimijan's always been that Mr. Reliable. And then another guy, Chance Knox, coming off injury, and maybe he's that breakout player for you.
Well, I think we're as deep as we've ever been at wide receiver, and you mentioned 3 of the guys in Chance Knox, Max Brimijan, and Leroy Thomas. I think Drake Cooper is another young man. He's going to be a junior this year that can have a breakout season for us, and we did a good job recruiting some young freshmen that can step up. So also in the receiving target is tight end Aiden Twombly, 2nd team preseason all-conference. He caught 15 balls the last 2 games of the season last year. I think he's going to step up and have a big year for us.
And you mentioned depth at wide receiver. The air raid now has become the signature for you guys for several seasons. You went from one great quarterback to a guy who I think could be a great quarterback. He's a preseason all-conference pick in Seth Morgan. When you and your coaches are out on the recruiting trail, you're probably starting to hear when you talk to recruits, oh yeah, I've seen you guys on film. I like what you're doing.
I think VMI is a unique place to recruit to, and I think people heard about what we do, but it still only attracts a unique individual to come to VMI, and I think that's part of our success, is that the men that want to come to VMI, we go get, and it's our job to cast as wide a net as we can to find them.
So on the defensive side, and defensively a year ago, 3rd down defense, you're among the best in the league. You did some good things. I think of VMI defense, I think of a guy at linebacker named Stone Snyder, who anyone on the FCS level would love to have, and a lot of FBS schools too. He's been an amazing player for you, led the league a year ago with 120 tackles.
Yeah, there's no better name in college football for a linebacker than Stone Snyder. He's a fantastic player. Quarterback in high school that has come on and had an outstanding career. Really excited about getting Stone back. Got a new defensive coordinator in Nick Revez, who was an outstanding walk-on linebacker that earned a scholarship at the University of Tennessee. I think he can help Stone get to even a higher level of play this season.
And Eric Weaver, a defensive lineman, earned the number 0 for you. He keeps that. He's a big part up front. Where you lose Warren Dabney, that'll be a big loss. But I know Eric Weaver's a good guy to build around there.
Yeah, he's great. 0 stands for 0 defects. We give that to the defensive lineman that has the least amount of issues and the most upside. And thrilled to have Eric back for a 5th season, a 9th semester. That's rare at VMI, and he'll be the leader up front on the defensive side for us.
Big loss in the secondary was Ethan Castleberry, but again, I see names that guys have been making plays for you. Alex Oliver, Josh Knapp, Algerique Mowry, all guys coming back. And, among freshmen last year, Knapp had 82 tackles to lead freshmen in the SoCon. That's pretty big guy to have back.
Yeah, Josh had an outstanding offseason. He's tall, he's long, he makes plays. I think he's even going to be better this season. Algerique Mowry is a leader for us, a captain. Alex Oliver just gets better every day out there at cornerback. And then we have Noel Innocent that's ready to step up and have a big season for us at the field corner. I'm very excited about our secondary and the prospects of shutting down a SoCon that is looking to throw the ball more than probably ever before.
That's a really good point. And you look around this conference and all the great talent out at wide receiver. That's a really good point. Some coaches in the Southern Conference are still trying to figure it out special teams wise. Some have the answers. You certainly do. You look at your special teams list from kicker to punter to long snapper, and you're in great hands there.
Well, very appreciative of the job our special teams coordinator, Chris Moore's done. Robert Soderholm is an outstanding long snapper. Jerry Rice had a breakout year last season as our kicker. And I think Jack Colbreth's got a very strong leg. Got a new kicking coach in Greg Woods, been working with him. We're trying to get more height on his balls, and I think he's going to have an outstanding season and hopefully limit those punt returns against us.
Jerry Rice, your place kicker, 17 of 19 a season ago. Great insurance policy to have. Your offense gets to the end zone quite a bit, but what a weapon and a reliable weapon to have.
Yeah, with a name like Jerry Rice, you have to be good, right?
You expect him to catch passes.
But you didn't realize he only weighed 1 pound, 5 ounces when he was born. And so it's just amazing how far he's come. His father, Don, coached my son in high school for 1 year, and great family. His brother, Hunter, is a running back for us. So I think Jerry's going to have another outstanding season for us. And, he went 5 for 5 against UTC to win that game last year. That's a heck of a ball game.
And the fact of the wins you've been getting during this run of rebuilding this program, you've beaten some of the top teams in the conference. It's a credit to you. You want to get over now to that next level. The 6 wins you've had in these past couple of seasons have matched the most since '03. I know you're striving for more. What's that key this year to getting it to where you're in the hunt for the conference title and building on the win total?
We were in the hunt last year, lost our last 3 games due to, we had some injuries, and we played some good teams. You got to give credit to our opponents, but I think you got to start fast, you got to finish strong, and if you want to make the playoffs, you got to try and win every conference game you can. And then when you get there, who knows what can happen. But, it's the little things. You got to take care of the football, you got to tackle well, you got to play hard, and you got to just try and focus on the prize of being the best player and best team that you can be. And that's all any coach can ask for. I think our players will do that. And again, I can't wait for the season.
Yep.
And the SoCon is top to bottom, probably the best league in the nation.
And with your cadets in your home stadium, it was always a real novel place to go play. But now I've noticed with the winning has come a really great home field atmosphere. The stands are packed on both sides. I mean, it's become, I think, one of the tougher places for someone to come into in the league.
Well, I think when the whole core of cadets is there and you're playing winning football and then they're fired up and they're yelling and screaming, that place can get loud even though it's an open-air stadium, and it is a fun place to play. And can't wait to put some more exciting plays on the video board this year.
And with a high-powered offense that scores a lot, I've noticed the cadets have had to do a lot more push-ups. I think that's a good thing.
That bodes well for our nation, right?
Yeah,
they got
there you
stronger
go.
military officers because they're doing push-ups at football games.
Yep. He's a guy who can appreciate a military school, a grade at the Air Force Academy back in the day, and then came up through the ranks there, and he's done an amazing job at VMI. He has made them one of the teams that you don't want to play in the Southern Conference, and maybe the Keydets will indeed be in the hunt for another conference title this season. Scott Wachenheim of VMI. We continue on the Sanford Bulldogs. They can score some points. We're going to talk with their head coach as we continue getting ready for the season ahead on our 2022 Southern Conference kickoff.